And welcome everyone to our Saturday Relive Basic Training. We are doing this the first Saturday of every month, but because of Labor Day, it's now the second, so sometimes that may happen. But good morning to all of you, and my best advice is listen well and take good notes. So I am Diane Helmold, a Presidential Global Ambassador, and I got to get rid of some of this here. There we go. Presidential Global Ambassador. We live in Illinois and Nevada. We break up our time. And I always live by living the Relive lifestyle. This is our family, guys. The last time we were all together for my husband Kevin's 60th birthday. There's 8 kids. I call them the grade 8, our 4 and their 4 spouses and 5 grandbabies and 3 on the way. And our life is just very different than when I got started. So I'll share that, when I got started, it was, goodness, I was 34 years old. It was 29 years ago. So almost 30 years taking the Relive products. I was a young mom, and I was praying to God for an answer when I found Relive. I was probably the lowest of my low with 3 little kids, a 5-year-old dealing with a lot of skin issues. Nothing was working. We were going to go to cortisone shots. Our 3-year-old Elizabeth had tension issues, and she also had chronic ear infections. We were ready to put tubes in her ears, and our 3-month-old baby was crying every day since birth. And I literally was out of my mind. I was overwhelmed with life. And what put me on the couch with a lot of exhaustion and anxiety was my husband was putting in about 90 hours a week as a Chicago fireman, and he painted on the side. And we had a little extra money. We didn't have a life. And when I was praying, that's when my friend reached out to me. You know, if you learn one thing from this training today, we are one phone call away from changing someone's life. And she told me about this. I went to her house, I heard, and I really wasn't interested in the business then, but I thought, I'll try the product. I thought I'd get my money back. You know, my husband dealt with a lot of allergies and headaches, and I just thought this was life. You know, my friends had their issues, we had our issues, and that was life as you got older. Well, I found out on the product after I heard a lot of stories that day. She invited me to a presentation to come hear more about the product, and I heard business. And that is why I always say, share the entire story, because you never know. Guys, I left there as a distributor, got myself to the highest profit margin as soon as I could, 40%. And in 6 months, we were off all meds and all worries. In 2 years, I delivered a healthy Relive baby. She's right here, Christina Rose, after 5 miscarriages. It was amazing. And as I fast forward today, 2 years after Rosie was born, Kevin left his jobs and he came home to be a dad. And that was the icing on the cake. That was the reason why I became a distributor, to bring him home. I was able to put in more time, more hours. I earned a lot of trips, a lot of bonuses along the way. This has always supplemented his fire department income. And to have him home, to have a 2-parent home, is the reason why I believe we're, you know, a strong family today. And so that is definitely a possibility for anyone listening for the first time. But it's fast forward 29 years, those kids are all married. The income has that is supplemented has helped them get through their private schools from kindergarten to college, and 4 weddings. Kevin's now a retired Chicago fireman after 35 years with the city of Chicago. We built a home in Las Vegas where one of our children live, and you know what, we're able to come and go. It's a portable business. All you need is the ear to listen when people are talking around you, and a cell phone to connect them to stories or get them information from the Relive app. And it is just an amazing journey I've had. I'm 62 today. Kevin is 60. And, you know, in the future, like, well, next month, we have our son Edward right here in Chicago having their 4th baby. Then Elizabeth here in Las Vegas, she and Adam are going to have their 2nd baby. That's in November. And December, John and Rosie will be having their 1st. So, you know, I'm like kind of all over the 50 states here, but I love it. I will be forever grateful to my friend for bringing this into my life. And that's the opportunity that you have for yourself and to share with many others. So great health. Healthy aging now as we're seniors, and I just love how I feel. So why am I excited? Well, this is our company. I promote our company. It's a wellness company. It's on 33 years right now. And the reason why is because Relive manufactures optimal nutritional products and distributes them through network marketing. We are worldwide. We are in 16 countries. And there is science, there is commitment, and cutting edge research behind what we have. And you can take that to the bank. We are leaders in epigenetic nutritional supplements. We now call it healthy aging. Who wouldn't like to tap into that? Satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't like it, you get your money back 100%, as well as in the business. You have up to a year for the business, 30 days for the product. We are an equal opportunity company. So this is why we are very, very excited. Hang on a minute. I went to our conference, and I'm just going to share with you 3 quotes that I keep saying that I learned when I was in St. Louis. So many of you listening were in St. Louis with me, and, you know, kudos to you for being there. It's not an easy thing to do, and, you know, get a plane fare or drive and, you know, paid for the hotel and this and that. But, you know, I'm sure you came back excited just like me. But these are some quotes. I do not want to be 25 again. I want to feel 25 again with healthy aging. And that's from Peter Griscom. I want my health span to match my lifespan. And that was Ryan Montgomery. I love that one. And another one that I say continually every day is, this is from Sandy Sopko. Invest in your health today so you can have a quality of life tomorrow. And so much more I learned from that conference, to go there and be together as our families. I call it reunion with Relive. We haven't been together for 2 years. So that was outstanding. And I know Ryan Montgomery has a video out now that was from conference. So you'll be seeing a lot more of them. They're going to be sending them out, I'm sure, the rest of them one by one. And we came out with a new amazing product. There's 15 products in our line, but I'm going to focus on these 2. We have Luna Rich X capsules that have been around for, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 years. And the benefits of the capsules, it is a soy peptide, an accidental discovery, and Dr. Carl and Dr. Galvez got together and were able to make this Lunacin, okay? When we're digesting it, Lunacin doesn't work anymore, but the patented technology of Relive through these 2 scientists have patented. So now when we digest this Lunacin, it's working. It's supporting liver function and healthy cholesterol levels. Cellular health is focused in the GI tract and the liver, and antioxidant benefits are coming into you along the GI tract. Now, they have liquefied it, and here's the bottle here. It is available. It's been out about, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe, and there is about 7.8 capsules in every dropper. You get 60 droppers. And the recommended dose is 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So I leave it by my bedside. You know, and then in the morning, after I take my morning one, because I have been diagnosed with, most recently after a car accident, I have spinal stenosis in C5 and 6. Excruciating pain. I've been wearing neck braces. I wore them at the conference. I've been wearing them on all the Zooms for 60 days. And I will tell you, since I started taking this and I upped it, I take a lot. So I'll carry it with me throughout the day, and I take 4 more throughout the day. I take 6 droppers full. And I talked to Dr. Galvez and the others about this, and they said it can't do any harm. And I will tell you guys, I have went from wearing those braces to not wearing them even at night, and I went from a 9-10 pain level to a 3 and a 4. It's amazing, and I just will not be without it. What does this liquid do? It promotes overall cellular health and defends against cellular aging throughout the body. And I'm going to list a few more. I've had compliments on my skin. I am not hungry. I am so laser focused. It promotes youthful gene expression, supports cellular energy, and help maintain healthy DNA. It reduces inflammation related to exercise and activity and supports youthful skin appearance. And that's where we get the healthy aging. So these two combined really give your body what it needs on a day-to-day basis. To learn more about these and our other 15 products, you want to get back to the person who invited you to this. So how do we do this business? How do we create an income? What do we do? We have an acronym called ICSAR, okay? This is our job description: daily and deliberate discipline with the 5 elements below will change the direction of your life. Number 1 is identify. You identify people to talk to. 2 is connect them to, maybe you want to connect on see, where are you with your life? Where are you with health and finances? And find out and ask questions. 3 is share the whole story. 4 is ask for a decision. 5, register and follow up. And we're going to dive into these individually in detail right now. So identify is the first one. All around us, we have people with constant complaints. And as I hear more stories, testimonials on the coffee and chats, on the Thursday short and sweet call, Kari Montgomery, she has a Monday, 10:30 a.m. Central Zoom. As you hear these testimonials of lives being changed with health and business, you begin to think of people, and you write them down. I start every month on my yellow legal pad, and I start with the people who I didn't have closure with from the day or the month before. So I have, it says September, the 10 people that I did not get closure from in August, I transferred to my yellow legal pad immediately for September, and I want to get closure on them, and I'm adding to it, okay? The hot market, who we know, love, and care about, who we're praying about. The warm market, your neighbors, friends, okay? Your cousins, your aunts, your family's friends, your coworkers' friends. Create your list and jot down everyone you think of and keep adding to your list. There are 2 people I added to my list as I heard some coffee and chat stories. One was John, who has been diagnosed with cancer, and he's now in remission. And he said, I want to get approval from my doctor to get back on the relive. Well, I heard David McCord's story, how he took this through his, his treatment, and no problem, but he didn't see the hair loss and all those side effects of, the chemo. He didn't see it. So I connected him with John. Now John is going to place an order. He's not even going to, he knows, he was on it before. So I'm so excited that he's getting back on it. Another one is Leanne. She is in Pennsylvania, and we reconnected. I put her on my list, and I had Stan Gray share his story and how the Lunison helps people with their ailments. She has, he's very supportive of his wife, who's very ill. And I'm hoping they're watching this right now, but they're going to get more consistent on the products. So the people you identify, put on your list. They may be people you spoke to before, never ever did anything. They may be people who already were on the product, but they're off it, or maybe they're not consistent. So continually put those names down. And where is I have a little calendar here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I bring it with me all the time. And when I think of a name, I'll add it to this calendar. So you're always going to want to think of people and jot them down, because as quickly as it comes into your head, you're going to lose it. So write those down, and you want to connect them. I use the acronym form. I'm all about acronyms. I love acronyms. So you want to, if it's the cold market, if it's through Facebook, maybe you did a booth, maybe a sign on your car, you don't know who they are. You're going to ask them, tell me something about your family. Are you married? Do you have children? And that gets the conversation going and kind of brings you together. You're going to want to ask them, what do you do for a living? What do you love about what you do? If you could change one thing about your occupation, for the better, what would it be? And what do you do for fun? I'm telling you guys, 9 out of 10 people don't do things for fun. Either they're on disability and they can't bowl, they can't golf, they can't dance, or they're working so hard 2 jobs, they have a family, they can't bowl, they can't golf, they can't go out dancing and stuff. So ask them what they'd love to do. I got a woman 2 years back, she started dancing again and went to the Frank Sinatra dance classes here in Orland Park, Illinois, and to have her back dancing with their husband, there's nothing like it. That was a paycheck of the heart, right? And then you ask them, would $500 make a difference in your month? If they're calling about the business, what would make a difference? And a lot of times they won't say. So I always share what made a difference in my life and what helped me. It was $2,000 a month. That's what I needed to bring Kevin home. So you want to connect with them on that first connection. And the second one is with the third party to validate the truth of Relive. You'll want to connect with your prospects, your customers, and your distributors. And we have a special guest who's going to talk about Cher. She is a new Relive Global Ambassador. I am so proud of her. She is on every single Zoom and phone call, and she's just so excited about where Relive has brought her in her life. And, she's a persistent, committed mom and grandma. Lara Hobbs, would you come on and share a little bit of how you got to Global Ambassador? And then how does it share the whole Relive story fit into your days?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm from Oklahoma, and my background is ministry, actually, and we were former missionaries. Found out about Relive 20 years ago. It saved our family's life. Actually, none of our family becomes a hobbyist unless they take our products. I have Relive grandchildren. I got help with upper respiratory issues, and I got help. My husband avoided knee surgery. My children used the Relive products all through their adolescents. It kept their skin, hair, and nails beautiful. When all their friends had breakouts, they did not. Their skin was glowing. My kids and in-laws use them as prenatals. So we do have Relive grandchildren, as we said. And, it's funny when you start the Relive business. I know for me, my vision began to change. Our circumstances changed. And sure enough, our circumstances changed last year when my husband unexpectedly changed positions in the ministry. And, it really came to mind that God brought Relive into my life to help us kind of float us from one period of our life to another. And that's when I put my head down, Diane, and I decided, I love this Relive program because really it really focuses me on reaching out to new people. I have an impressive people in my organization, but I knew I needed to reach out to new people. And that is kind of how we got to Global Ambassador. And Relive has paid for so much. It's paid for my husband's grad school. It paid, and now, as I said, it's becoming kind of plan A unexpectedly for our Relive, for our daily expenses. So, sharing the Relive story of Relive is really what got me into Relive. I heard the testimonials and I thought, my gosh, if any of them is telling the truth, there's got to be something to this. And so I love this part of sharing the story, and it includes the company, the products, and our business. I love, Diane, what you said about before you share, you've got to ask questions about that person, because you want to scratch where they itch, and you're not going to hose them down with the whole Relive story all at once. Usually if it's a one-on-one, and I'm going to break this up into one-on-one and webinars, but when you're one-on-one, you want to ask the questions, because you never know what part of the Relive story is going to touch them, and you'll know by asking the questions. Some people love it because they sense that there's a community there, and they really want that in their lives. Others, they just want to feel better, age gracefully. Others they love the products, but they stay in Relive because of the mission of Relive, the Cologos Foundation. For me, that was my case. Being a missionary, the Cologos Foundation brought me to tears, and it really helped me get the heart of Relive, and that my heart was really knit to theirs, and others want freedom and lifestyle. You won't know that until you ask the questions. And so some of the questions that I ask is, number one, what health result means more to you? Because people will come to you with so many problems, but you want to know, what is it that bothers them the most? Example, someone had debilitating pain with rheumatoid arthritis, but yet I asked them the question, well, because I wanted to share the story, I wanted to know, what is it that you mostly want to get? She goes, I can stand the pain, but I cannot stand the fatigue, Lyra. Bingo. Now I knew how to share the story. I knew what kind of story I was going to have lined up in the queue. As I made an appointment to share the story, I had someone nearby. I said, listen, you got to listen to this person because they have walked your walk. And sure enough, and that she's on the products now. She's a nurse. She said, Lyra, I can wake up in the morning. She's involved in the civic square and she's very active. People don't even know she has a health problem. So you want to ask the questions. One thing about sharing the story too, is that you may not be able to share it all at once. I think this is a relationship business, and you dribble the information to them according to their needs. Let them take the lead. And if we do, and we're going to talk about that probably another module, the proper follow-up, they will eventually hear the whole Relive story. But people with serious, for some reason, I've helped 2 people with multiple myeloma, another one with leukemia. And as I sat down with them and shared the story with them, I asked them, what do you want this nutrition to do for you? Because we want to help them manage their own expectations. We don't want to sell them a bill of goods and say, oh, this really, we are so excited and we know the stories, but we want them to connect to Relive, come to their own conclusion, and they will decide what Relive is going to do for them. Their own body will decide. So we want to help them manage their expectations, but you validate Relive by sharing the stories. I always say you undersell and over deliver. And someone with serious problems, I just say, you know what, the least that it'll do for you is you will be better off with it than without it. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is gonna help your leukemia and your, don't say that. So, the other way I share the Relive story, ask, well, how, especially on one-on-one. I love dribbling information, getting people on the Mindy Jones coffee chat, the Tuesday seminar, or the short and sweet call. Oh my goodness, if I hear a story and I've just had an appointment with someone and I want to keep sharing the real story and I hear something that might pique their interest, I send them the recording right away. And that I have downline that is so expert at that, because they have downline in the Philippines. And so they have to figure out how to share the Relive story across the globe. But Relive just has a table, just a whole banquet table of tools that we use to share the stories. And, we're also going to be talking about the compensation plan. It's fun. Oh, before I go there, the webinars, the webinar, I have some amazing people in our online, and they just couldn't keep up with all the people. Isn't technology wonderful? We don't have to be in 30 different places at once, but we can be if we use a webinar. And so they're trying to keep up with people. I said, why don't we get them all together in a room? One might be in Texas, another 2, 4, 5 might be in the Philippines. We might have some in Louisiana. Let's get them together and let's share the Relive story. And what takes front and center, even on these webinars, is, yes, I love talking about the company because I want them to fall in love with the company as I have, but the stories, we bombard them with stories on these webinars. We don't show them the whole compensation plan. Their poor eyes would glaze over. We got to start from where they are. And I know Kari Montgomery has been very good at telling us that this is more of a customer-centric market that we're in now. I mean, this is where we are. And so I let them take the lead. I follow them, even though I have the knowledge and I know how to point them. I listen to them and let them follow lead. I'll give you an example. Somebody, I just was sharing the Relive story with them. And I asked them, is there anything else that you need to know? Any other information that I need to get to you so that you can, and we're going to talk about, make a decision? And she paused, and she had heard stories. She knew about the company. We didn't talk much about business, but she knew I was doing the business. She knew that what the business had done for me because I had shared my story. And she says, well, I have 6 brothers and sisters, and they're all married, and they all need the product. Yeah, okay. So now how sharing the story has led to what's called asking for a decision. And, when someone tells me that they're thinking of other people, it tells me 2 things. It means they are ready to go beyond themselves and their own health issues because they're thinking about others. It also tells me that this is a person with a heart, and Relive distributors have the biggest heart. because they think about other people. And so that's when I go, oh my gosh, this is where I start exposing them. So you ask for the decision. And sometimes if you're new, that is the hardest thing to do. You find yourself talking and talking and talking because you're afraid to know what they're going to tell you. You're afraid of their response, right? And so you want to say, and there are different ways to ask for a decision. I would ask questions like, well, what about what I just shared with you or what you just heard? What most sticks out to you? And where do you see yourself in this relive picture? Do you see yourself taking the products? Or I ask, what else do I need to do to help you to come to a decision? What all that does, it just takes the pressure off of me, and it takes the pressure really off of them, because you're giving them an open you're not pushing them into the corner. Those were the old sales tactics, right? They would, strong arm you and they take you into another room, and then they'd get your supervisor on and they try to convince you. We do not convince. We just present the evidence, and we allow them to make the decisions. And remember, a decision may not, or to take the products or to do the business, may not all happen in one appointment. They may need more information. They may need more validation. I just talked to someone whose husband had tried this, that. And I said, okay. She goes, but I want him to start now. I said, you know what, Sherry, let's do this. What would you think if I had just introduced your husband to someone who has struggled in the same way he does, and let your husband hear firsthand? And she was all for it. We have an appointment for Tuesday. And so whereas before the old Lyra would go, okay, what do you want to do? I mean, you can do this, you can do that. Let them take the lead. And so asking for decision, customer. Now I love in new people, I would say, if you're not steady on how to explain auto ship, if you're not steady on how to put people in the proper place to become a distributor or to the business, grab a hold of your upline. When I first started the business, hey, I was a missionary homeschooling mom. I could not talk about money without squirming and without feeling uncomfortable. So what did I do? I got my upline on, who very graciously would explain the options until I felt comfortable explaining those options. And we have some amazing options, and we need to get, auto ship, explain the value of auto ship, explain the value of becoming a preferred customers. I have more preferred customers now than I ever had. It's kind of crazy, because I'm all of a sudden talking about it. Before I would kind of avoid it, but preferred customers, people feel very comfortable. I'm going to just share this before I end. Preferred customer is really a magical place, because people, I just signed somebody up as a preferred customer the other day, day before yesterday. And they weren't sure whether they were going to like the products. They weren't sure. And I just said, you know what? We have a place called Preferred Customer. You get free shipping on your first order. You get a 10% savings on the products. And if you don't like it, it's okay. You will, the investment would have been so much better. And they always, hands down, they say, yep, that's where I want to start. So, and just talk about auto ship. If they want to be a distributor, you want to revisit what their goals are, and revisit, because I know for me, my first goal was just to pay for my products. I couldn't afford the products. And then my next goal was, wow, maybe I can add some income. So you want to treat your new distributor as you would a new customer. Value them, share the whole relive story, keep exposing them to other stories, and help them find the best place to come into the business. So
thank you, Lyra. Thank you so much. We all appreciate that. You're going places. The next one, we have another amazing ambassador. She was an ambassador, and then she became a global ambassador. I have the honor of sponsoring her and working with her. A busy mom of 9, Mary Peters. Can you talk about how Relive has changed your life, and how did you register and follow up? Did that help you with getting the global ambassador?
It sure did. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
Yes, I can.
All right, good morning, everybody. I learned about this 27 years ago. And when Diane said that you're only one phone call away from changing a life, that was exactly what happened, because Diane shared this with me. And I got started on the products, had relief of very debilitating migraine headaches. I lost weight. I had was able to get my children off of asthma and allergy medications. I have 9 children, and so it really turned our health around. But one thing that really helped me to understand the value was I really couldn't afford it. And so when people tell me that, I completely understand. I was working as a nurse, and I thought, this could be a way for me to pay for my own consumption. And so I did start working the business. I kind of followed Diane's lead. And I would say what I've done for 27 years, and I still do today, and it's how we got to Global Ambassador, was I really do something every single day. And I do this around my family. And that is the beauty of this, is that I really could not work as a nurse. I have too many responsibilities within my home. So that was my why. My why was I need to make this work. So you have to look at why are you doing this, and how much money do you need? And people are not going to come knocking on your door asking for Relive. You have to be proactive about it. But that's actually where the registration and follow-up come in. And Lyra talked about this beautifully. With the registration, it is very important that you know where to go. You need to go to the pages of registering people, and go to join, and then you go to join and you see customer or distributor. And then with distributor, that's straightforward. People sign up there. Go to customer, and you have a choice of customer or preferred customer. You have to know what those pages look like so that you can direct people. And a lot of times, if someone agrees to register as a customer, preferred customer, or distributor, I have to go with them to that page, and I'll set up a time. Let's do this together. I had one gal in Oklahoma that could not figure out how to do quarterly auto ship. And I said, okay, let's do this together. We set up a time, and I went right through it. And when you get to the shipping and billing page, you go right down to the middle, and you can see where it says auto ship, quarterly or monthly. And when I showed her right where to go, she was like, oh, I couldn't find that. So it's just an example of how you have to be very proactive in setting people up with this. Now, as far as, what I like to do is I like to make it very personal. So if I have someone that I know is on the products, or maybe they were on the products, but they stopped, and I want to kind of follow up with them again, I will put together a sample order of what they could do for a preferred customer. And like Lyra said, I love that option. The people that I talk to about that, I would say at least 80% of them say, well, of course, who would not want free shipping? And so you know what? I followed up with this. I actually proactively called this girl in California, left her voicemail. I said, you know what, Tammy, I'm going to send you a sample order of what your quarterly auto ship could look like. I sent her that sample. I didn't hear from her for several weeks, so I followed up with her. I, again said, Tammy, do you want to take advantage of this free shipping? And she said, absolutely. This is perfect timing. I'm running out. I need to reorder. So she signed up for a quarterly auto ship. And another thing that's important is that you have to document in some way, either through your phone. I'm still a paper person, so I use my phone. I also use my notebook that I bring with me everywhere I go. And I will, like Diane, I will figure out, who do I need to call today? Who do I need to follow up with? And this is really about customer care. I personally feel like there's no more customer service anymore, but Relive distributors provide that customer service and customer care. And I think that it's also very important to do what you say you're going to do when you said you're going to do it. So if you tell someone, I'm going to call you in a week or a month or whatever, you put it on your calendar and you do that. So then you are responsible, and they know they can trust you. And I've had so many people say to me, I love how prompt you are. You're very prompt in answering text messages, emails. So that's another really good sign of getting the importance of their trust. And it really does help to keep that conversation going. So really, I think that's, and then I'll just finish with one last thing. With follow-up, what I like to do is I like to text a person, leave a voicemail, and also send an email. So I've set 3 areas of communication to a person and follow-up. And it also, I can kind of figure out what is their best way of communication. So I think that that's important too. It'll increase your odds of getting people registered and following up with them. So that's all I have.
Awesome, Mayor. Thank you. Now I know why everybody can tell how you're a global ambassador. Thank you so much for sharing, and Lyra too. So those are the 5 elements of the system. And I took this right here on the left from Facebook, guys. Success at almost anything rests upon this single principle: master the basics. I have that written on I have a whole wall that's a blackboard. I have that written down: master the basics. Do the basics, do them well, and do them every day. What are they? Finding people, identifying, connecting with them, sharing the whole story, asking them where would they like to get started, and following up. So my challenge to all of you: do these basics that we just discussed for 30 days. See where you are on October 1st, then do it again and repeat this for 90 days and see where you are on December 1st. And I would love to hear from all of you. So love this. This is my grandson, my daughter and son-in-law have been reading to Jerome since he was in the womb. And he has a collection of books. She sits him in a corner when she cleans up after breakfast or lunch or dinner. And he sits there and one by one, he goes through the books. How does he know them? They've read every single one of them to him. And this goes along with what Robert Montgomery said. He said, readers are leaders. You're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. And I ask you, what is the book you're reading today? Because if you're not, I got one for you. This book is called The Power of Neuroplasticity. Basically, what it's helping me do, it's a breakthrough, a scientific discovery that every thought you think rewires your brain and changes your life. What are you thinking? Well, take a book like this. It helps you to think positive, to take the good things in life, to appreciate, always having a pleasing personality, and be aware of that everywhere you go, because we are models of Relive, okay? We're happy, we're healthy. Another one is going that extra mile. And I have a book right here that I read to my kids. It's been chewed by our 2 dogs, but it's still, you can still read it. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. Guys, this book I'm reading now to my granddaughter who's 8. I'm telling her the value of going the extra mile. I did her homework with her. It's just an example, okay? It's not just for Relive, it's throughout life, going that extra mile. I took the time to tell my granddaughter, look at your name. Could it be printed neater? She erased it and wrote it. I said, why didn't you do that the first time? Well, I was rushing. I had to get it done. I said, always, always go the extra mile. So the books I've read, you know, I'm now reading to my grandkids that I've read to my kids, and I see my kids are doing the same with their kids like Jerome there. So pick out a good book, read a chapter every night, every morning, 2 pages, but do something to get your mind into the positive thinking. And the last slide is another grandson of mine, Henry in Las Vegas. Don't just stand there. You got all this information now about Relive, how you can go and build it with these incredible products and a group of leaders that are with you, working with you. Get out of your comfort zone. Just run in and do it. Who will you share Relive with today? And guys, we have some announcements from Mindy Jones.
Great job, Diane. That was awesome. Fantastic. And I have read that book, The Power of Neuroplasticity. Great, great book. I echo your endorsement of that. But yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are having Scott and Kari Montgomery and Peter Griscom here in Atlanta, Georgia on September the 22nd. So that'll be a week from this Thursday at 7 p.m. It's going to be at my house. We're going to have it catered. So there's going to be food and drinks and just a lot of fun and friendships and fellowshipping. And we're going to talk about healthy aging and how you can age healthfully. So anyway, if you want to come out, we'd love to have you. Just RSVP to me. Let me know you're coming so we can save you a seat. And it's going to be a great event. So Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Lyra. Thank you, Mary. Great job. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.